Welcome everyone in live to the virtual Talladega Superspeedway. It's a Friday night, and that means it's the Dega Pros Stars and Stripes Series as we get set for 40 laps of action here in the ARCA car on a Friday night. And man, it's going to be a good one here tonight. 40 laps and 70% fuel for all these drivers tonight. One tire set, no fast repair, and one green-white checkered if we need it. See it on the screen there, 81-degree ambient temp, clear skies, an 8-mile-an-hour wind, and 120-degree track temperature. And that's a hot one here tonight. And this driver's going to have a handful here as the crowd begins to fill in. We'll go trackside here. As we get set for the grid here tonight. Drivers getting on the grid momentarily. As Ethan Eckert grids in the number 12 Mustang here tonight. We have a, looks to be a 17-18 car field. We'll go through the starting lineup here in just a second. We await the pole sitter to grid. It'll be Hunter Hastings that will lead us down to the green flag tonight. Aubrey Thompson will be on the outside front row. Starting in row number 2, it'll be Ethan Eckert and Richard Elliott. Start 3rd and 4th tonight. Row number 3, Trevin Ashmanoff on the inside, and P5 and Corey Wright will start in 6th. Row number 4 will be Daniel Falkingham starting in 7th and Alex Hill in 8th. In row number 5, Dylan Jones will start in 9th and Austin Green tonight will start in 10th. Row number 6, Chase Mastretta in 11th and Josh McCullough who rolls off in 12th. Tyler Vickery will roll off 13th here tonight. Kenny McCullough Jr. in 14th. Cameron Craighead, I believe, is not in the race here tonight. Neither is some of these other drivers. We'll get word here in a second. I think it's going to end here. Maybe William H. Scott Jr. He is gridding. Yep, he is on the grid, as is Mark Vondell. So it'll be an 18-car field here tonight as we get set. That's right here. It's Hunter Hastings ready to roll off on the pole here tonight. It's all these drivers eager to get to victory lane here in the Stars and Stripes Series. As Aubrey Thompson gets set to race here tonight out of Trinity, North Carolina, the number 17 on the outside front row. As Hastings in the 44 catches up here. Gets set to go green here next time by Richard Elliott. Another driver hungry for victory tonight in the 0-2 here on row number 2. We have had some really good racing here on Friday nights. If this is the first time you're joining us, multiple races with only one yellow flag. We'll see here tonight if these drivers can duplicate the really good racing that we have seen. As we are ready to go here from Talladega Superspeedway, a Friday night, as we near the end of 2025. It's been a heck of a year here in the money racing community. This newer series to the weekly schedule here, the Dega Pros Stars and Stripes Series. It's been dominated thus far by Matthew Baker, but surgery will put him on the sidelines here for a couple weeks. So we'll have a new winner here tonight, possibly. as we have a lot of the past winners not in tonight's race, as these drivers come into the tri-oval and to the green flag for the first time here tonight. It's Hastings and Thompson leading us down, crowd on their feet. Flagman gets that green flag, it's waving, and we are off and running here at Talladega. And caution out here to start tonight's race for an incident. We'll go back and see exactly what happened here, but yellow flag on lap number 1 here tonight. If you're joining us in the chat here tonight, thank you all very much. Appreciate you guys supporting the PGR Esports Network each and every night. I see a lot of familiar names watching these races. I can't tell you enough how much we do appreciate it. We'll go back here and try to find out what happened. As you see Ethan Eckert off the pace here. Oh, there goes the 19 and the 8 of Chase Mastretta. Here goes the 1, 2, 4 of Tyler Vickery. Vickery on those brakes, as we'll see if he can keep it off that wall. I'm not sure he does. Tyler Vickery going to go into the wall area here on the backstretch. We'll try to get a better view of it. See, Ethan Eckert gets out of line. There's a big stack up here. And the 8 and the 19, that's Dylan Jones and Chase Mastretta. And then really the grunt of it goes to the 124 of Tyler Vickery, who will lightly hit off the inside wall. Does a great job. You see him heavy on the brakes here. And we'll have a little bit of front end damage, but it doesn't look too bad for Vickery as he'll head to pit lane here and see if he can repair that number 12. There's a lot of drivers coming down pit lane. Here comes Vickery. And other drivers topping off with Sunoco Racing Fuel. We'll see that 124 in a little bit longer. As Austin Green, the 87, will peel off pit lane. That will conclude here. Pit stops. Some drivers electing to stay out. Aubrey Thompson will assume the lead. Richard Elliott will move up the second. Your pole sitter in third. Corey Wright up the fourth. And Ethan Eckert tonight now running in the top 5. If you're just joining us, here is tonight's race flyer. Based on 30 entries, so a little bit short of that here tonight, we'll pay out 6 positions. Entry fee up a little bit from past weeks, up a couple dollars, and now based off 30 instead of 40. Hopefully we'll get closer to that 30 mark next week. I know holiday season, a little rough for everybody. A lot of plans. I know we have the college football playoffs starting tonight, so as we continue to build this series into 2026. Pace car lights out. We'll go green again this time by. I'm going to caution here on lap number 1 tonight for an incident with Tyler Vickery. As he reports in the chat tonight, all good, no damage. So good to see the 124. Get lucky there as we get set to go green here again as Aubrey Thompson. Richard Elliott now on your front row. And the flag man ready to wave that green flag again. We'll see if we can get some green flag racing in this time. As we are off and running, a great start from Aubrey Thompson and Hunter Hastings here on the bottom of the racetrack. Hastings looks to go around. We're 3 wide. Farther back, Ethan Eckert making a run here. Trevin Astronaut as well for the Jack Shack. Here comes Alex Hill. Astronaut slaps actually off the outside wall. But they get a great run here down the backstretch. That body armor number 12 Ford shoots out of a cannon. Vaults into second here. Farther back, it's Danny Barnes in the 7. Looks to go low. He's going to stay here at the top. Preferred lane at the moment. The top, we have a wreck farther back. Mistretta involved again. And caution flag out for the second time tonight. I don't know actually here. Looks like we stayed green. I thought I saw the car slowing there, but no, we stayed green. So apologies there for the call. We stayed green. And I just wonder what happened there. We have a lot of cars way off the pace now. Isn't that good? And Chase Mistretta. As they're going to try to reel back in the leaders there. It looks like Kenny McCullough Jr.'s in this group really made Scott. So looks like Mark Vondell is really the only one. Yeah, a ton of damage here to the Blue Death. Napa, Night Vision 59 as Mark Vondell comes to pit lane. A massive wreck for him. As we go back up front, it's 3 wide, Astronaut in the middle by himself. Alex Hill to the outside with Hastings. Down the backstretch we go. On the bottom, it's still Aubrey Thompson. And the event will start to tonight. A caution on lap number 1 and nearly another caution a couple laps later. We'll see if these drivers can get it together now. As we ride on board with the man out of Oklahoma, Danny Barnes, driving the Chevrolet here tonight. Right behind Corey Wright's Advent Box Toyota. Looks underneath again. Come down and sidetrack right at this moment. Astronaut on the bottom. Behind Dylan Jones. Great picture there. You see of Astronaut. He likes to eat while he drives here. His food of choice. Well, chicken wings. You see him there crunching on a wing. The south side of Augusta, Georgia. The mayor of Browntown, the Pearly Whites, is out tonight. The 89, a great race last night in the PGR Championship. Can he go to victory with? Daniel Falkenham couldn't go back-to-back, but right now he's going to look for a Stars and Stripes victory behind Richard Elliott. Aubrey Thompson now, 4th place on the board behind Eckert. As he looks to go to victory tonight as well. Josh McCullough now here leads that second grouping. So the first group all the way to Austin Green is 1st through 11th. Right here you see 12th through about, I believe, the 16th position with William H. Scott Jr. Mistretta now, damage heavy, off the pace, in the number 8. He'll try to make his way back with Mark Vondell. They're going to need a caution flag to do so. So 18 cars make the field here tonight. Back up front, Corey Wright. He gets down in front of Alex Hill. He takes the lead. Engine has blown. It's gone out on Kenny McCullough Jr., the 03 now, as smoke billows out from the back of his Chevrolet. He will head to the garage area. A big development here early, as one of the best in the business will go to the garage area. He will be out of this race, and it is a hot one out here in Alabama. And Kenny McCullough Jr. will be out of this one here tonight. And a caution flag out. Second caution flag now of the race. As Alex Hill had taken the lead here. 10 laps of 40 in the books tonight, a fourth of the way through. And a couple cautions here in the opening 10 laps. I'm not sure what brought out that yellow, but we're going to go back and find out. We were keeping an eye on Kenny McCullough. And while we missed some action here up in the front. And we're going to slow it down. And it's going to happen with your leader, the number 4. And here comes Alex Hill. Right behind the 4 of Corey Wright as they come off turn number 2. And Alex was doing a really good job there of pushing. That's an interesting one there. We'll see how that one ends up being called. Didn't look like anything was, or Alex Hill was doing anything wrong there. We'll try to watch it again here. It looked like Alex Hill was, pretty much squared up here. Excuse me again for the camera angle here, but yeah, I mean, Alex was pushing pretty square and kind of just loses it off the exit of the corner there for the 4 of Corey Wright. He slams into the the inside fence, but looks like it's not too bad for the man, and he'll look to drive away back to pit road and get some of that damage fixed here. We'll go back live, and as Alex Hill brings the leaders down pit lane. As you'll see Kenny McCullough here in a second in your picture as he's on pit lane and heading to the garage area. Cars off pit lane here. It's going to be the 13 car of Daniel Falkingham, the winner off pit lane. Here comes Alex Hill, who you're following into pit lane. He was your leader, and he's going to lose a ton of positions here. Looks like a black flag will go to Corey Wright, as well as Kenny McCullough Jr., and that's due to their incident. So everyone else good. Hunter Hastings now here in the front of the pack. As we'll take a quick break here. Don't go far. We'll be right back here live at Talladega on the PGR eSports Network. here live at Talladega for the Stars and Stripes Shootout Series. 12 laps in the books tonight. Hunter Hastings will bring us back to the green flag with Daniel Falkingham as the pace car lights are out yet again. 2 early cautions has set this one up, as Von Dell looks like he is out of tonight's race, as is Kenny McCullough Jr. A blown engine before that last caution has sent the 03 to the garage area, and he will be out of tonight's race. Corey Wright involved in that incident, that spin off turn number 2. He's currently on pit lane trying to fix that machine here tonight and get back out there and give himself a chance. We are set to go green again here at Talladega. We appreciate everyone joining us tonight as we get closer to 2026. We're going to try to finish out the year strong here. And we'll have Hunter Hastings, Daniel Falkingham bringing us back to green here. As the green flag waves again, and we are off and running here. Dylan Jones, a strong push to Falkingham as Hunter blocks that run. Here comes Ethan Eckert back on the bottom of the racetrack. Hunter Hastings has really been strong here in the early going. The lead off turn number 4, 2 by 2. Got a lane there at the bottom, lane there at the top. Now this has been the race here as we hit the start finish line and begin lap number 14 here tonight. Dylan Jones up to P3. Here comes Ashronoff in the 89 on top. Ethan Eckert's trying to make a right on the bottom of the racetrack. And right now, that top place, Eckert can somehow make that work. As now 3 wide with Ashronoff in the middle. He goes back up, and that leaves out Danny Barnes, who's going to parachute to the back of this field. Austin Green pushing Ethan Eckert here on the bottom. Vickery and Josh McCullough, Alex Hill, I believe Richard Elliott. The 6 cars here on the bottom of the racetrack. 15 laps in, 70% fuel here tonight, so eventually fuel will not be an issue. Action heating up here. 3 wide, nearly 4 wide. As we come off the corner, they get back to 3 wide. Barnes and Mistretta now in the middle. Excuse me. I believe that's Barnes and Cheney. Cheney in the middle, pushing Danny Barnes. Here in the turn 1. Eckert now your leader. The bottom has now prevailed. Hunter Hastings comes down to the middle. Now the middle gets a run. Green nearly turns it off the apron there. Hopefully he stays on all 4s. Here comes Vickery. He's going to cycle up. Daniel Falkingham getting racy here in the middle of the pack with Dylan Jones. These drivers now figuring out that middle lane and making it work and making it stick. Eckert now from the bottom to the top. We've seen a lot of movement out of these drivers here at the front of this pack tonight. .24 laps to go. We're gonna count them down the rest of the way. We have a wreck. A big one here at Talladega. Alex Hill involved, Danny Barnes involved. Danny Barnes completely destroyed his front end. Look at his left wheel, completely cockeyed. As the 7 heading to the garage, most likely ends his night. Alex Hill involved in this one. The 77, he has a ton of front end damage as well. Not so sure he'll be able to bounce back from this one. As that Blender's Chevrolet has plenty of damage, rear end damage as well. But the big one strikes here at Talladega. Probably could have been worse. We'll get back to the replay of that incident here, and that'll put us practically to the halfway point with these pace laps coming up. And Alex Hill, Danny Barnes, the biggest losers in this one. As Barnes limps it around to the pit lane. Let's go in his cockpit. Yeah, a lot of movement from Danny Barnes. You see sparks flying and how much that tire and wheel is causing him to vibrate and shake here as he enters pit lane. At least he got there. Looks like Dylan Jones involved as well. He's on pit lane. The 4 of Corey Wright. He still has heavy damage. He's most likely out of this one. So a lot of casualties here early. As we go back up front, Daniel Falkingham now being scored your leader. Ethan Eckert, Austin Green, Vickery, and Alex Hill, who will be coming to pit lane for heavy damage repair, is being scored in 5th. So that's your top 5. But Alex Hill for... Oh, look at Tyler Vickery. The 1-2-4, plenty of damage to his front end as well. There you see it right there from the rear view camera of Austin Green. Both Vickery and Alex Hill, tons of damage to the front ends. It's not what they wanted to see here. As we come down pit lane again, we're going to get topping off with Sunoco Racing Fuel here. As Ashburn off to bring his 89 machine to pit lane as well. Josh McCullough in the number 5 Hello Kitty Mustang into his box. Chase Mistretta on your screen as well. He's getting right side tires. Actually, Chase and Josh getting 4 fresh Goodyear tires tonight, and they'll be off and running. I believe only 1 tire set, so that'll be it for them here tonight. As Ethan Eckert rolls his number 12 Body Armor Mustang off pit lane first, and he'll assume the first place position. Another wreck, we'll go back to it. And it's going to be here with Danny Barnes. Watch the 7. Follows Ethan Eckert down right in front of Dylan Jones and your field. Carnage from there. Heavy damage to Jones. Heavy damage to Tyler Vickery as well as Alex Hill. Wow, we didn't even see that, but the 17 of Aubrey Thompson hard into the outside wall. Chase Mistretta gets a little piece of it, and yeah, big one here, and takes out some players. That is for sure. We'll watch it again here. And yeah, Barnes just follows him down. I don't think he knows that Dylan Jones is there, but he is there. And there's Vickery. There's where he gets his front end damage. And yeah, big pile up there. Mistretta does his best there. Stay out of most of it. Luckily for the 8, I believe he's going to be okay, but Aubrey Thompson is not. Looks like Richard Elliott makes it through. Josh McCullough goes lawn mowing there. But hey, you got to do what you got to do to survive, and Josh McCullough does that. And we're back on pit lane with your leaders. That tells me that double pitting here. They're going to try to stretch this one to the end. They might have enough fuel. We'll find out. As Ethan Eckert slides in his box. Daniel Buckingham on pit lane as well. These two will race off. It'll be Ethan Eckert again. A lot of double pitting here as Ashmanoff now will assume the lead. We'll take a quick break. Don't go far. We're going to be green flag racing here next time by at Talladega. Well, we're back here live. Astronaut's going to lead us back to the green flag here. Hunter Hastings to his outside, and we're back green here. We'll have 20 laps to go as we hit the line. It's been a really eventful night from the get-go tonight. 3 yellow flags thus far. A big one here, the last one. Danny Barnes now on pit lane. Actually, it looks like Danny Barnes to pit lane, and Mark Fondell out. Kenny McCullough Jr. out. Corey Wright out. Danny Barnes out. I believe Aubrey Thompson possibly out as well. Jones in this pack. So 13 cars now left to race out of 18 that came to race. So 5 cars already out of this race. As Ashford right now leads Hunter Hastings. Alex Hill made his way back up here to the front. So he's been able to overcome a couple incidents here tonight as we fan 3 wide here. Falkingham works on the back bumper of the 77 of Hill. On the bottom of the racetrack, here comes Josh McCullough. He's been strong here tonight. He tries to bring that number 5 Mustang to the front. Ashroth's going to parachute to the middle. Ethan Eckert following the 5 of McCullough through the field, as is the 11 of Cheney. Cheney and Mistretta carrying really, well, practically the same paint scheme here tonight, so easy to get those two confused. Next time by, we'll do a NASCAR Crank It Up, so viewers tonight, get those volume knobs and get ready to crank them up here for the next lap. We pick the field up here as Hunter Hastings now back to the lead in front of Hill. Here comes Mistred in the 8 on the bottom. He's going to bring the 87 of Austin Green into this one. Josh McCullough there, third in line on the bottom. 2x2 at Dega. 17 laps to go here in the ARCA car. Friday night, Stars and Stripes Shootout Series for Dega Pros. It's been a great start to the Stars and Stripes Series here now, about a month and a half in. Some really good racing here every single Friday night. You don't want to miss these because anything can happen as Falkingham now comes down the side draft. Austin Green, Richard Elliott, the 002. Here he comes as we stay 2x2 down the Alabama Gang super stretch. Kenny Reel has joined the chat here tonight. Good to see him out here after a very strong run last night. The PGR Championship race, the Jack Shack taking home the victory with Dylan Basin bringing the 16 Greg Biffle paint scheme to victory lane and is crowned your 2025 PGR champion. But the Jack Shack showed up the race last night, that is for sure. And Malik Ray showed them much respect and class after the race, congratulating them on a really good race and some great execution from that team. And you heard it from team owner Ashmanoff, who sits currently in the 7th position here. It was a long time coming. They needed that run, and they sure got it last night. Mark Vondell, he raced here tonight. Unfortunately, had to bow out early. He's in the chat tonight. Good to see Mark Vondell out here in the chat after racing tonight. Is 59 in the garage, but nonetheless, Mark Vondell, a class act always. Each and every race he is in, and I'm not sure if he watches all these broadcasts back, but we featured him a couple races ago. Not sure which race that was, but man, that guy is always a class act, and we want to always thank Mark Vondell for his contributions to the money racing community, to PGR eSports, sponsorships and donations throughout the year. He is one of the best there are on the service, and without guys like him, I tell you what, I wouldn't be doing this. So big shout out to Mark Vondell for everything he does, and hopefully soon it can pay off again for him and get that 59 Napa card victory lane. Sean Corbett in the chat. He'll be back soon. That's a good thing to see. Hopefully back and ready to go for the PGR 500. Devin Ray hopefully coming back as well. Miss all these guys, I'll tell you that, man. These guys have been in this community for years now, and we hope to see all these guys come back to the track. That is for sure. Hastings still leads Alex Hill here. Estrada strong on the bottom. Hill thinks about going down, but a little bit too late there. Astronaut tries to make a third lane. He does with Eckert. They all take the right rear. Richard Elliott. Richard Elliott going to parachute back all by himself as Hunter Hastings comes back down for the side draft here. Question is, can Cheney get in? Cheney a little bit farther back now, side by side, 3 wide with Elliott in the 4. As Elliott's going to try to get that position if he can. Scott's on the bottom. Elliott's going to go follow him, and that's a good move there. Eckert fans up. Now they hit the wall. Ooh, wow. Race leader Hunter Hastings. You see him bouncing off the wall and exit. I'll definitely run a race with Devin Ray, that is for sure. I'm definitely going to race more in 2026, guys. I know I haven't raced as much this year. I kind of started when Matthew Baker went on deployment, and I had a lot of juggling to do with PGR eSports and everything, obviously, that we do. Practically doing a lot of running of that, and racing control, broadcasting, and just the schematics of that kind of turned me away from the racing game for a little bit. And that kind of just stuck me when Baker came back. We've been working on a lot of projects, and a big one we're going to be sharing with our viewers here shortly when we get the word to do so. There is a big series, a big gaming series coming to PGR eSports in 2026. And we are looking forward to covering their races and running their races as well. So we are going to be covering a really big gaming association and also pretty much administering all of the races as well. So the biggest deal that we'll have ever landed here in PGR eSports coming in 2026. We hope to share the news with our competitors and our fans, as well as our server members very soon. And we are looking forward to what's going to be a really cool year next year. Hastings still leads the field here. Eckert on the bottom of the three. Three yellow flags here tonight, but a really good run right now. As these drivers putting on a show for y'all here in the chat tonight. And as we turn a page to the new year as well, I know from my standpoint, we're going to be elevating the broadcast too as well. With some more scenes, hopefully some overlays, some more ads, and some cool features, hopefully, as we get into the new year. I know for myself with the new PC, just getting everything up and running for a while, but we got all the main stuff done as we almost wreck Alex Hill into the wall. That's Daniel Falkingham. That's going to bring out the yellow flag. They're wrecking in front. It's Cheney and Ashland. Josh McCullough off the pace. Unbelievable as two of the heavy hitters, Alex Hill and Daniel Falkingham, involved in this one. Heavy damage to Corey Cheney, as that'll end his race here tonight. Falkingham and Hill look to be okay. We'll go back here shortly and try to figure out what happened there with the number 77. 8 laps to go here. Under yellow for the 4th time tonight. As the pace car gets everyone in formation here. Josh McCullough has some damage right there, so he'll have to come to pit lane and fix that Ford Mustang. Tyler Vickery, hopefully he'll be able to come back down pit lane and try to keep wrenching on this 124. William H. Scott Jr., he looks clean, though, in the Monster Energy Chevy SS, that number 4 tonight. We'll never know. He's in the 7th position now. We'll see if he can make a run at this thing late. We'll keep an eye on the front of the field here as we come around and see what these drivers do, or if they need anything here on pit lane. We'll go back and look at that replay of the wreck between Alex Hill and Daniel Falkingham. I think the bigger part of that wreck ended up happening after it. As your leaders will stay out, we'll go back and take a look at this one. This will be a good shot here. I think Alex didn't know where he wanted to go. He comes up, though. He's clear to come up. This is where it gets interesting. Ooh, wow. I think Falkingham just didn't anticipate it. It looked like Hill was clear, but this is where it gets really interesting, as Hill kind of just drives him up the racetrack. So not sure if that was out of frustration for Falkingham kind of getting into the back of him. We'll take a peek at the incident on the bottom between Josh McCullough and Trevor and Astronaut in just a second. We're going to go back and look at these two again. I think we'll get a good view here off Astronaut. Yeah, here's Hill. Look ahead, a couple cars in front. He goes to go down. He's not clear, so he has to come back up, but he does so with plenty of room. And then Falkingham, I just didn't check up, and I don't think it was intentional by any means, but this might have been here by Hill, who's going to then run the 13 right up into the fence. McCullough then has nowhere to go. He turns the 89 of Astronaut. And that collects the 4. Ooh, actually, Scott Jr. in it. Wow, Mistretta tries to make a move. He nearly pulls it off here. And Cheney takes the grunt of that one as well. So Kenny Real, Devin Rage, dissecting the wreck here as well as we were up here in the tower. And we'll see what they said. Kenny Real said, never mind, Hill got it first. And then Devin Ray said they got it straight, and then Hill drove him up, and that's kind of what I saw as well. So whether intentional or not, it looks like Falkingham probably just made a little bit of a mistake without being able to check up. He sure could have checked up because he did not have somebody on his back bumper. But everyone's allowed to make mistakes, but I think Alex Hill just showing some frustration with that mistake of Falkingham. Doesn't expect Falkingham to make that mistake, but Alex Hill did a great job. We've seen him try to clear down in those positions in the past and try to make that move and end up taking a lot of people out. But I know he had to kind of hesitate and go back up, but he was plenty clear to do so. So good to see him out there and trying to make the right moves for sure. As Hill now goes back to 10th. Falkingham coming out of pit lane. So he'll be at the tail end of the field here as we go back green here. This time by. It'll be 5 laps to go at the line. The Stars and Stripes, well, they're in a shootout now. Hunter Hastings up at the top of the board with Ethan Eckert. Austin Green, Richard Elliott, Chase Mistretta. That's your top 5 as Astronaut works on them in 6th. Dylan Jones back up to 7 as we await Daniel Falkingham to come around. A lot of drivers, practically half the field has been in a wreck or a big wreck here tonight. We'll see if we can go green the rest of the way. I have a feeling this is going to be a wild end to tonight's race. Here we go off turn 4 as the flagman gets ready to wave that green flag again. We've had 4 yellow flags tonight, a couple big ones, as the pace car dives off onto pit lane. Fans ready and eager to see the finish here tonight. Into the restart zone again. We're racing at Talladega. It's a shootout. 5 laps to go. Hunter Hastings to the top. Austin Green stays to the bottom as everyone now lining up on the top. Josh McCullough trying to overcome some damage. Mistretta takes the right rear of Richard Elliott. He's got a push from Astronaut. Here they come to the back bumper of Ethan Eckert. Richard Elliott really going to lose all the positions here on the start. He's had no help here tonight. He's going to need to find somebody who has a shot or wants a shot at winning this race. Hastings, though, in that position he's been in all night long, P1. He's held off the field for a long time, but can he hold off? Ethan Eckert, Mistretta, Astronaut, they're going to be hungry for a win. We'll have 4 laps to go here when we hit the line. lot smaller pack than we started with. Austin Green is going to utilize Josh McCullough to try to get back up to this front of this pack. It's going to be hard to do so. 6 cars on the outside now, all the way back to Dylan Jones. So 9 cars from Hunter Hastings back to Richard Elliott. That's who's got a shot at the moment at winning this thing. Ethan Eckert looks to the outside of Hastings. Hastings really just giving him air at this moment. Into the trioval again, 3 to go this time by. Matthew Baker's won 3 of these races so far. But him being on better after a couple weeks with that shoulder or pec surgery. Let's open up the door. Can Austin Green snatch it? We'll find out. Right now, Dylan Jones has some ground to make up. It's going to get interesting now. Mistretta goes to the outside. Looks like he has the right rear Eckert. They do. 3 wide, nearly 4 wide. Hunter Hastings is overtaken by Austin Green. I believe he hits the wall as well. McCullough out of nowhere. That's Josh. Drag race at the line with Elliott, who's come out of nowhere. 2 laps to go, and this is truly anyone's race to win. What a move by the 5. What a move by the 002. Elliott practically doing this by himself. He's going to clear up in front of Josh McCullough. Mistretta out of line. He's going to come up, hit Hastings. This is amazing racing here in the closing laps. Eckert, he's out of the draft here at the front of the pack. He's going to have to go all the way to the bottom. He gets picked up by Hill. Hastings nearly fenced there by Mistretta. He's out of line. What is happening? There goes Astronaut. And while all that's going on, Richard Elliott, Josh McCullough, Austin Green have really pulled away. Ethan Eckert, though, digging back into this one. 1 lap to go. Final lap in the Stars and Stripes Shootout Series. Can Richard Elliott hold off this field? Here comes Eckert with a massive run. Outside turn number 2. How will they utilize it? There goes Hastings. There goes Mistretta. Mistretta underneath the apron. They're battling farther back. This is crazy racing. Back up front, Elliott. There goes Ethan Eckert. I don't think Glenn Eckert's going with him, though. That's the problem for him. Austin Green's going to stay with his teammate, Josh McCullough. Richard Elliott with a push from McCullough. Green looks like he's going to stay in line. He's going to go to past McCullough. But Richard Elliott steals one tonight. The 002 goes to victory lane and upsets the field. And a good guy goes to victory lane. Richard Elliott out of Little River Academy wins the race as he had a great push from McCullough and Austin Green. Richard with a big upset victory and a man no more deserving to go to victory lane tonight. And man, all the times he was up there in the front and kind of got left to dry. Man, it's just awesome to see Richard Elliott get the job done tonight. Richard Elliott gonna soak in this victory as he's gonna burn them down here at the start-finish line. And man, let loose Richard Elliott to victory lane in the Stars and Stripes series. And while we wait, interviews will bring in the boss man, John Ward. John Ward, man, Man, this is what you like to see. I know it's what I like to see. An upset victory with Richard Elliott going to victory lane.
Man, I tell you what, that was crazy. That was a good race, man. These guys were, I didn't think there was enough drivers to have that much fun, but man, they were tearing it up, tossing it up, 3 wide at most times. You know, the top lane worked, bottom lane worked. Yeah, the McCullough seemed like the 3 drivers up front, and they pulled it off. I couldn't believe it, man. Yet, like you say, an upset. I thought they was going to have a big run behind them, but they held them off and got the victory.
Yeah, they did, John. I mean, this ARCA car has really put on some good racing, and I think we're finding a little something tonight with the weather settings and this ARCA car, where this is what we want to see. We want to see these guys racing, and tonight that we did here in the closing laps, we saw Richard Elliott get left out to dry numerous times throughout that race, but he was able to come from about the 8th or 9th position there and snatch the victory from all these top drivers that were in this race tonight. Great to see it, John. And man, this series has really delivered here in the first month and a half.
Yeah, it really has, man. It's exciting to watch, and like I say, Richard Elliott, for him to get up there, that's amazing. For him to get that victory with McCullough Motorsports helping him. I think Mark Vondell and his partners, he got wrecked out, and man, I don't know if Chase is going to take a break, but he was in quite a couple of wrecks. So I'm gonna have a talk with him and see if we can get some more drivers in here, man. Do it again next week.
Heck yeah. Well, that was John Ward, series owner, and we will let him go back up. And hey, we're going to start off with the man. I am pumped just calling it. Richard Elliott, the 002 in the Ford Mustang here tonight, goes to victory lane, and we got him up here. Richard Elliott, you have a copy.
I got you, Mike.
All right, man. Well, hey, we love upsets, and you're talented enough to, win these races. The problem is we've seen these big teams kind of dominate the money racing community here in 2025. As I know at PGR Esports, we aim to combat that a little bit here coming up in 2026. Tonight just is an amazing night. You see yourself go to victory lane. You hold off a hard-charging Ethan Eckert and Chase Mastretta, Astronaut, the Jack Shack. You had guys like Daniel Falkingham in here, Alex Hill. But you end up P1 on the scoring pylon here at Talladega and first place here at the Stars and Stripes Series. Man, what's it mean to you tonight? It looked like you were pretty elated there, burning them down here for the sold-out crowd. How does it feel tonight to go to victory lane?
Oh, it's always nice to go to victory lane. It's nice when there's some high talented people in the race and you finish ahead of them. I got lucky. I mean, in the last 2 weeks, I've been caught up in about every accident there is. So I avoided that tonight. Josh and Austin were working with me on McCullough's team, and we managed to get positioned right at the end and held them off.
Well, it looked like there for a little bit, at least I was reporting in the booth, that you were racing up in the front. The issue would be is you get up there and you kept getting your right rear taken by some teammates, and you'd kind of be stuck there in the middle lane, parachuting to the back. It happened late, too. And you go back to about 8th or 9th, and there was really only 9 of you that really had in contention for that win. But you somehow make a run there with Josh McCullough all the way from the back of the main pack to the front there in the closing laps. I mean, tell us how you guys did that. You guys, it was textbook. I mean, you guys shot out of a cannon, at least on the broadcast from my vantage point, to make all those moves to get to the front. And then once you got there, Richard, your teammates protected you and really did a great job of really securing and controlling your lane all the way to the checkered flag.
Yeah, we were going along there for a while, run that top lane. Everybody's just pulling down, side drafting, and somewhere along the line, a few people decided to go ahead and jump out and hang me, and then got hung a second time. But yeah, we were talking, if we wait till the end, we ain't getting nowhere. So we made the decision to go early, Austin and Josh. And as soon as they started to move down, I jumped out of line, sucked up to them, and we were just pushing, just trying to bump Josh into Austin in the corners so that the draft wouldn't totally kill us. The whole team did a good job. Some pretty textbook pushing on the bottom from the whole group. And then at the end, everybody stayed in line to protect. And, I do that as a teammate. I won't pull out past somebody, when it's that tight. So I really appreciate everything they did.
Well, Richard, a big victory here tonight, now in the history books here on Friday nights for the Stars and Stripes Shootout Series. Before we let you go and enjoy and celebrate that victory tonight, anyone you want to thank and or shout out?
Yeah, you for the broadcast and John for putting on the event. Everybody in McCullough Motorsports. We'll get everything together over there one of these nights and make a good showing. It's hard to go against some of these big teams, but anyway, get off subject. Yeah, just everybody at McCullough, and again, appreciate you putting it on or broadcasting it. Sorry.
Well, we appreciate you as well, and a great start to your weekend here, Richard. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you again soon, because it's always nice to see a guy like you in victory lane. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Mike.
Richard Elliott to victory lane here tonight as he is on top of the board. His teammate Josh McCullough finishes in second, Austin Green in third. A class act by those guys to stay in line and push their teammate to victory lane. Chase Mastretta ends up fourth tonight. Trevor Astronaut in fifth, and Ethan Eckert the last payout position spot in sixth. Hunter Hastings finishes in seventh. Alex Hill in eighth. Dylan Jones in ninth, and rounding out your top 10, William H. Scott Jr. Finishing in 11th, Tyler Vickery. Daniel Falkingham can't overcome late troubles, finishes in 12th. Corey Chaney finishes in 13th. Aubrey Thompson tonight in 14th. Danny Barnes in 15th. And Corey Wright in 16th. Kenny McCullough, blown motor, finishes in 17th. And Mark Vondel bows out here in the first 4 laps of the race in 18th. So that is your finishing positions here tonight. It's been a great night of racing as Richard Elliott moments ago just having a great celebration here on the racetrack as he goes to victory lane. And wow, yeah, it's just been it's awesome to see a guy like Richard Elliott go to victory lane, and can't say enough about him. He's a class act driver, has always been a community guy, and we really do appreciate his contributions here over the years as well. So, well, that's it for us here on a Friday night Stars and Stripes series, won by Richard Elliott. Excuse me here, apologies for trying to get to the replay there of the finish with Richard Elliott, and not kind of sure what is happening here. Trying to cycle through some people because session could be kind of running dry, so we'll end it here. But we appreciate you guys. Good night here from PGR Esports.